What connects an 18th century steam engine to Elon Musk's smart factories, or a cotton mill in Manchester to today's AI-driven global economy? Stay with us, because buried in each industrial revolution are secrets and breakthroughs that still influence how we build, invest, and innovate today. Welcome to TFC, Tech and Finance Code. Today, we'll uncover the story of four monumental industrial revolutions, from steam engines to AI-powered factories. These revolutions not only shaped history, but also hold critical insights for how we navigate today's world of tech, business, and investment. In the late 18th to mid-19th century, the first industrial revolution began in Britain. The shift was enormous. Society moved from manual labor to machine-based manufacturing. Before this, nearly all production was done by hand, often in rural homes. Around 1765, James Hargreaves invented the spinning jenny, drastically increasing textile output. In 1769, Richard Arkwright introduced the water frame, and by 1779, Samuel Crompton's spinning mule combined the best of both. These inventions laid the foundation for the modern textile industry, yet it was James Watt's steam engine, patented in 1769, that truly powered the revolution. It used 75% less coal than earlier models and could drive machinery in factories. Steam engines soon powered not just mills but railways, steamships, and more. Abraham Darby's innovation in smelting iron using coke allowed mass production of stronger metals, changing construction and tools forever. What many don't know is that Watt's engine also accelerated the demand for coal mining, which created a boom in mining towns and increased the use of child labor underground. One lesser-known consequence of Watt's engine was its contribution to time standardization. Factory whistles, powered by steam, led to stricter time discipline, a cultural shift from seasonal work to clock-based labor. The rise of textile factories drew people into cities like Manchester, which grew from a market town into an industrial giant. Between 1800 and 1850, London's population more than doubled. The factory system was born, creating structured shifts, labor divisions, and unfortunately, long hours and child labor. Reformers pushed back, leading to laws like the Factory Act of 1833. Also notable were the beginnings of environmental degradation. Rivers turned black from dye factories, and smoke darkened city skies. Transportation also transformed. Britain built over 3,800 miles of canals by 1830, dramatically reducing the cost and time of moving goods. The world's first public railway, the Stockton and Darlington Line, opened in 1825. These advances connected producers to markets in ways never seen before. George Stephenson, known as the father of railways, created the first successful locomotive, Rocket, in 1829. Few realized that the use of railways also revolutionized food delivery. Fresh milk and vegetables could now reach urban centers within hours instead of days. But with all its progress, the first industrial revolution wasn't without resistance. The Luddites, a group of English workers, destroyed machines they feared would take their jobs. The movement was violently suppressed, yet it remains a powerful symbol of labor anxiety in the face of automation, a theme that still resonates today. Interestingly, the term Luddite comes from a fictional leader, Ned Ludd, a symbol of rebellion created to rally the movement. The fear of machines was not just economic, it was existential. Fast forward to the late 19th to early 20th century, and we enter the second industrial revolution. This wave was defined by electricity, steel, petroleum, and scientific innovation. Cities were no longer just powered by steam, but lit up by electric light. In 1882, Thomas Edison opened the Pearl Street Power Station in New York, and electric grids soon followed across Europe and America. The incandescent bulb extended productive hours and created a nightlife economy for the first time. Alexander Graham Bell's invention of the telephone and Guglielmo Marconi's development of wireless telegraphy transformed communication. Meanwhile, the internal combustion engine, developed by Nikolaus Otto and later refined by Rudolf Diesel, powered a new generation of automobiles. Few people realized that these engines also laid the groundwork for aviation and modern shipping. Early prototypes of submarines and aircraft engines were born from these same principles. Henry Ford revolutionized manufacturing with the moving assembly line in 1913. His innovation slashed car production time from 12 hours to 90 minutes, making cars affordable for the middle class. Interchangeable parts and factory automation changed not just how products were made, but how businesses scaled. Ford also introduced the $5 workday, doubling wages and setting new labor standards, but partly to reduce worker turnover. Ironically, Ford disliked labor unions and was criticized for surveillance tactics against workers. In steel, the Bessemer process reduced costs and enabled the construction of skyscrapers, bridges, and railroads. Chemical and electrical industries flourished, with companies like BASF, General Electric, and Siemens leading the charge. Behind the scenes, scientists like Dmitry Mendeleev, creator of the periodic table, helped organize and systematize chemical innovation. Alfred Nobel, the inventor of dynamite, also contributed to industrial mining and infrastructure development. Urbanization exploded. By 1900, the U.S. had over 30 30 cities with populations above 100,000. New jobs attracted immigrants who poured into cities to work in booming industries. Labor unions began forming, and governments started introducing basic protections. Interestingly, this era also saw the first workers' insurance systems, particularly in Germany under Bismarck, a precursor to the welfare state. Global trade surged thanks to railways, telegraphs, and steamships. Economies became interconnected, and the idea of a global market began to take hold. But inequality widened, leading to waves of protest and reform. Capitalism matured, and with it came both vast opportunity and deep systemic flaws. This period also saw the rise of stock exchanges and modern banking institutions that reshaped finance worldwide. Many don't realize the panic of 1907 helped inspire the creation of the U.S. Federal Reserve. By the mid-20th century, we entered the Third Industrial Revolution, commonly called the Digital Revolution. It began quietly with the invention of the transistor in 1947 by John Bardeen, Walter Brattain, and William Shockley. These tiny components replaced vacuum tubes and launched the age of electronics. The story behind this invention lies at Bell Labs, an innovation hub that also developed early satellites and lasers. In the 1960s and 70s, microprocessors made it possible to build personal computers. IBM, Intel, and Apple led this new frontier. Software became the real game changer. Microsoft's Windows, Apple's operating systems, and open-source Linux platforms reshaped industries. Xerox PARC, a research center, developed the graphical user interface and mouse, which Steve Jobs famously adapted for Apple. The Apple II, launched in 1977, became the first successful mass-market PC. The Internet, born from the U.S. Department of Defense's ARPANET project, was launched to the public in the 1990s. Tim Berners-Lee's World Wide Web in 1991 made digital information globally accessible. Communication went instant. Email, websites, and e-commerce transformed how we interact, buy, and sell. Amazon and Google were born, forever changing business models. What few realize is that early internet speeds were slower than today's calculators. Yet the vision for a digital world endured. Factories became automated with programmable logic controllers. Robotics entered manufacturing floors, reducing errors and improving safety. Supply chains digitized. Financial markets embraced electronic trading. The entire global economy was now wired. Unknown to many, the first high-frequency trading systems were already active by the late 1990s. Napster and the rise of file sharing also marked the beginning of digital copyright debates. This revolution didn't just change business, it redefined society. People connected across continents. Knowledge became democratized, but it also introduced new risks: cybersecurity threats, misinformation, and a growing digital divide. As the cost of computing fell, hackers and cybercrime became a major global issue. The Y2K bug scare and the dot-com bubble showed how digital reliance came with growing pains. Now, in the current era, the Fourth Industrial Revolution, we are witnessing something extraordinary, sometimes called Industry 4.0. This revolution merges physical, digital, and biological systems. Artificial intelligence is the new electricity, powering everything from customer service bots to autonomous vehicles. Algorithms now make decisions once handled by human intuition. The Internet of Things connects billions of devices. Sensors monitor factory machines, smart homes, and wearable health tech. Big data allows predictive analytics, helping businesses and governments make faster, smarter decisions. In fact, 90% of the world's data has been generated in just the last 2 years. Facial recognition, speech synthesis, and personalized medicine are all everyday miracles. Smart factories use cyber-physical systems. Tesla's gigafactories, for example, are equipped with real-time data feedback loops that optimize production in ways traditional factories never could. Blockchain brings transparency to supply chains. CRISPR is revolutionizing genetic engineering. Quantum computing is poised to solve problems today's supercomputers can't even approach. China, the US, and Europe are racing to dominate in these sectors. But this revolution is not just about tech. It's about humanity. Labor markets are shifting rapidly. Many routine jobs are disappearing, while new roles in data science, automation, and biotech are exploding. Ethical concerns around data privacy, surveillance, and AI bias are becoming critical debates. AIs are now generating art, music, and even news articles, challenging what it means to be creative. Investors, businesses, and workers must adapt or risk being left behind. The rules are changing fast, but in these shifts lie immense opportunities. Early adopters in AI, green energy, and infrastructure are seeing returns that traditional industries can't match. Imagine factories that build personalized medicine or AI models that optimize entire cities. The future isn't coming, it's already here, and the tools to thrive in it are available for those who understand the patterns of the past. Thank you for watching TFC, Tech and Finance Code. We've traveled from coal and cotton to chips and quantum computing. If you found this valuable, subscribe and hit the bell bell icon, because next time, we'll dive into how to invest in the industries driving the fourth revolution. Until then, stay curious and stay profitable.